Hello, everybody. This is Kyle. Welcome to the Blind Guy 08 YouTube channel. That's once again capital THE hyphen capital BLIND hyphen capital GUY hyphen 08. And in this video on May 21st, 2026, Thursday, May 21st, 2026, this video will be titled talking about transportation and more. Before I get started with talking about transportation, I am going to do a little house cleaning first. In the video I did with the title of Talking with Katie G from last Friday, May 15th, 2026, we would like to let you all know our apology for the camera being out of place, not in the right position. We want to give you let you all know we apologize so much in advance for the camera not being properly set up. We thought we had it properly set up, but we want to apologize for the camera being out of place in advance. But we would like you to go listen to the video talking with Katie G, even though the camera's not in the right position. And also from that video, YouTube video, Katie and myself, we forgot to mention until after we got done recording last week, is Katie and I are both going to be competing in Special Olympic Summer Games in Columbus, Ohio, with them for the Dark County Special Olympic for state, participating in bowling May 29th to the 31st. So that's just a little house cleaning. And now on, we're talking about transportation and other stuff after I talk about transportation. And this video is going to be talking about different kind of transportation and disclaimer. These are my thoughts and opinion and what I notice about transportation for disability and people that are blind like myself. I usually use what we have here in Dark County called Greenbrier Transit when I go to my work facility, which is awesome. But if Greenbrier Transit is closed, for instance, they will be closed on Memorial Day, I have to use other method to get to work, like one of my DSP or a friend or family member. But typically, it's usually a DSP or a friend most of the time when I do not take transit if transit is closed. And lately, I had noticed a lot of things about Greenbrier Transit. But I'm going to start out with some of the positives. They have a new system here in Greenbrier, Ohio with the Greenbrier Transit system. Their system now, if you call in advance, like say 24, 48 hours or longer in advance, me, I usually call about a week in advance to schedule my rides and stuff. When I do that, the night before I am scheduled to be picked up, they will call twice. Once for my pickup time to go to work, and once when I time to let me know what time to be there when I get off of work. For instance, I gotta be at work at 9, so they will call the night before at 5 or 2 usually, when I get the phone call from Greenbrier Transit. It'll say, "Hi Kyle, so-and-so, this is the Greenbrier Transit, and you are scheduled to be picked up at your address, your home address, and we'll be there between 8:25 and 8:55. That's one example on when they pick me up before I go to work. Now, when I get off work, for instance, if I get up at 1, they will call usually back about 5:07, 5:08. That's night, before I go to work. And they will call and say, "Hi, Kyle, we will pick you up at your work or employment tomorrow between 1 and 1:30 or 1:05 and 1:35. They give you that half-hour time frame to be ready. Then the day of that you're scheduled to have your ride, 15 minutes before your ride gets here, they will say, "Hi, Kyle, we are 15 minutes away And if you're doing something else or something, you like going to the restroom before you go to whatever, they will call when they are here to say, "Hi, this is the Greenwood Transit. We are here to pick you up." And so that is a nice thing about the new the system that the Greenwood Transit has, which I really appreciate that. But they also have an app which I do not know how to use because I figure with me being blind, I do not think VoiceOver will distribute it very well. But those who need the app can download the app. I'm not sure what it's called, but you can search for it in your App Store or your Google Play Store. Or go to the Greenwood Transit website here in Ohio. Not North Carolina, South Carolina, which they have had people calling and ask for the ride when it's the wrong Greenville, wrong state that they was getting a ride from. They have had heard stories about that before. But now it's tough part where I want to just talk about the negative effect with Greenville Transit. One thing I had noticed over several years, I used to use them when I was in high school, which I graduated 18 years ago. But about 20 or so years ago, when I was learning how to do public transportation with my O&M instructor, Craig, when he would teach me how to use public transportation, one place he taught me how to use public transportation is here, the Greenwood Transit system, and the RTA down in Dayton, Ohio, to give me some experience. But when I took the Greenwood Transit from where I went to school at in Youngstonia for instance, to Walmart, it would cost about $2 a ride because I was outside of Greenville or whatever. That about 20 years ago. And now, Greenwood Transit doesn't even go outside city limit unless they have a contract with a company or unless you're a senior. Basically, in my opinion, they're causing a disruption to everybody, but especially those with disability. Because those with disability, they only can travel in the city of Greenville. And my thoughts from what I heard, and I've been taking part in meetings over the last year and a half or so, it seems like, and it seems like the only thing that's doing is talk, but no real action, in my opinion, which I think is disturbing. Because there are people with disability that live outside of Greenville. And if they want employment, they have to have an employment here in the city of Greenville, unless Greenville Transit has a connection or contract with said employer. Or if it's a health reason, they would pick up people to go to the doctor's appointment, etc. That's the only thing I noticed that Greenwood Transit would do with those who have a disability and stuff, which is shameful. Because if I want to go visit like a family member, my parents that live outside of the city limit here, in Northern Dark County, they live in Northern Dark County. Well, if I just want to go surprise them, if my DSP or my sister or somebody is busy, then I have to wait for like a parent to come pick me up so I can go spend time with them, which is stupid. Cause like, what if I want to stop in and surprise them or whatever? I cannot do that because Greenville Transit doesn't go outside the city limit, like I said, and that is despicable. At one point, about a year or so ago, they did have countywide trip, but they stopped it because they said they wasn't getting enough trip or something. It's just all about money, it seems like. But back then, 20 years ago, at one point it was like, okay, $2 each way, which is like the rate it was for those who didn't have a disability, and like $1 for those who did have a disability, or something like that. But now the rates for using transit one way is $4 if you are not a senior and if you don't have a disability. If you do have a disability or a senior, it's $2, or it's free because they got a grant right now for the seniors, which who knows how long that will last. But it just seems like they're treating the seniors better, in my opinion. No offense to the senior citizen, but it just, in my opinion, they need to be fair, and it seems like they're only doing the minimum to skate by. And that's just my opinion thought. Because another example is like, I go out to the Dark County Board of DD, but those people, and I usually get a ride from one of the worker, Sue Houston, who does like run advocacy and action um, club, or well, it was Action Club, but now it's Outreach Advocate in Action, where we join them all together now, OAA. But she would usually pick me up for like our meetings and stuff. But those people that used to just take out transit out there to Birchwood, but now they can't because the contract is up with Greenwood Transit. But the funny thing is, across the street from Birchwood, they consider city limit company across the street, but they do not consider Birchwood in the city limit, which is stupid. If you can go across the street, why can't you just drop somebody off at Birchwood? It just seems like it's all about the money. That's just my thoughts on it, on transportation. I wish there could be more done, but it just seems like all there is talk. And I know this might be controversial or something like that, controversial, and I'm just stating my opinion because I've been in meetings and stuff with Transportation Board over the last year and a half. Where it's like people from the Dark County Board of DD and also Greenwood Transit and the regional transportation, and it seems like there's nothing but talk and no real action going on. So I just wanted to speak my mind about that and everything else. I hope you guys like my thoughts on transportation, but if you disagree with me, that's fine. But it's just something need to be said about how I feel about transportation. But I will say I do love how the new system is, let you know when they are coming and reminder calls. And the app if you want to use the app. And the people there at Greenwood Transit, they are nice people. They are friendly. And if I have a problem with them, they had told me I am respectful because I don't raise my voice to them. I talk to them sensitive, but I just need to voice my opinion on how I feel because there's no real talk. And like I said, this might cause controversial and issues, but it just needs to be said on what I noticed about them. So that's my thoughts on Greenwood Transit right now. I may add more later on, but now I'm going to talk about more information. And we're going to go back to, because I am blind, and a lot of people don't like giving people chances who are blind because they don't think they can do things. That is absolutely a false narrative. Just because I am blind and just because other people are blind or have other disabilities, you don't know what we can do. We can do more than what you think we can do. I think it is a shame that some people are not willing to take risk and let people try different things. And I know what my limits are. And if I can't do something, I'll say, hey, I cannot do this. But I'm a risk taker. I will take risk and show what I can and cannot do. If I can't do something, I'll tell you. But I'm going to give it my all and show you I can do this and that. So there are some misleading information out there that blind people can't do so and so, which is wrong. Because at my job right now, currently, I do dishes for the most part. Then they have me prep some food. But then sometimes they don't have me prep other food for one reason or another. But I'm a risk taker. I will do anything I can to take risk. Because I know my limitation. If I can't do something, I'll tell you I cannot do it. And that's just my beef with people, is thinking I cannot do things. Because I know darn well I can do a lot of things that most people can't. If I can't do it, I'll tell you straight up I can't do it. But I'm a person that want to try things and take risk. And that's just even with relations and stuff like that. Yeah, I can know about relationships and stuff like that. I haven't been one in several years. And, because several years ago when I was married to my ex-wife and stuff, this is an example. I took risk and went to the gym and worked out a machine. And you know what? I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy working out on these machines and stuff. Yeah, I just back going to the gym here a couple years ago when I had somebody actually take me on a weekly basis. I go weekly now to the gym. At least most weeks I go once a week. And some of my machines I work on, I go from 50 up to 110 pounds depending on what machine it is. And these are seated machines. I don't do the free weights and stuff, but I do the seated machine like butterfly machine or pull down machine, push out, back stretch. And the back extension machine, that's the one I do about 90 to 100 pounds. Even for the abs, where I go like this, push down with my stomach and stuff, I do that between 70 and 90 pounds. But if I push out or and pull down, I do anywhere between 50 and 70 pounds. And I got involved with going to the gym because of my ex-wife, who is a lovely person. Nothing wrong with my ex-wife. It just things didn't work out. But I'm just glad I'm able, if I can go to the gym and work out, and people don't think I could, I'm telling you what, you should see me in the gym. My provider would just, or whoever I went, most of the time it's my provider, they would set up my weight, get it set up, and I just go to town because I like to be in the best shape of my life. The best shape as I can be. And working out is it's healthy too. So that is just a little bit of information on myself and transportation. I hope you all enjoyed this talking about transportation and more. Thank you for watching this video. It is videoed on Thursday, May 21st, 2026. Thank you all for watching and have a good day.